I'll crack on. Okay. Well, Darren, it's nice to have a bit more company in the dugout and a familiar face coming back to the club.
Yeah. I thought it was important that when I was looking at the role, it was important that there's lots of job specs and roles and responsibilities you can kind of work towards in these occasions, and but really I kind of narrowed it down to two specific things, in that I wanted someone who either knew the role or knew me, because I felt if they didn't have neither of those two things, I thought it'd take too much of my time to work with them, teach them the role. They got to get used to me, and we've only got 3.5 months left. I might as well have just done it on my own for the rest of the season. And then when you work back from that, it's very difficult to get an experienced assistant manager, someone like Terry who knows the role very well, can adapt to different characters. He's adapting very well at the minute to Johnny Jackson at Charlton, but because he knows the job and he knows how to go about it. And so I felt that one of the big things was that individual knew me and knew my sort of tendencies and behaviour, because I'm not the easiest person to work with. I must say that. I think you all will understand I'm quite an opinionated chap, and especially on match days. My character changes again. So I thought it was important that someone that I brought in knew that and didn't have to, learn those things and work out, why I do certain things on certain days. And probably no one knows me better than Charlie. And, let's make no bones about it. Charlie's been one of the toughest players I've ever managed in terms of his character and how prickly he is and spiky. He's a real he's a real sod at times. But I wanted that impact in the dressing room, and Charlie will have that impact. And Charlie doesn't suffer fools. He's not a quiet person, very opinionated, and he's a winner. His career, you look at his career, he's a winner.
And in terms of the coaching, obviously, when you've played the game at the level he has for so long, he knows the game. Is that something that you'll sort of work with him on? I'm sure he's doing his badges, but just that ability to transfer what he knows into a group of other people.
Listen, I think the things that I can give Charlie is an exposure to this position, and I'm 2 decades in, and Charlie's a year in, maybe less than a year. So there's lots of things that I can give to Charlie, but first and foremost, a brilliant guy, terrific family. He's a good father, wants to be part of the football club. He's just walked in the room, so I'm not going to be nice anymore. But yeah, he's a brilliant appointment for me. He's got that thickness of his skin where he can cope with match days and the competition as such. And like I said all along, he can handle my tantrums.
And important, because as much as you've, I would imagine the last few weeks have definitely taken their strain on you, because, running a football club's not easy at the best of times. And when you're a man down sort of with all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, that's, I'd imagine you've been stretched pretty thin.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not just a man down, are we? At Yeovil, he was Superman at Yeovil, Terry. And unfortunately, we can I say that? I don't think I can say it. I think you realise what you had when it's gone, and we as a football club, we're not in a position to protect that legacy, but it's a damn shame that we couldn't carry that on. But as one door closes, it's it's a big opportunity for Charlie to taste this world and this industry and how different it's going to be from playing. He was already arguing with me yesterday over my decisions, reffing the game, which is no shock. It's like he's never been away. But he has all the tools, Charlie. He's got a good football brain. He's a tough guy, resilient guy. Has seen lots and lots and lots and lots of things in football. And he isn't here to replace Terry. Replacing Terry at Yeovil is impossible, absolutely impossible. He's here to be his own man and to bring, something to the position that we haven't had in recent weeks. It has been a really tough, I think it's been 4 or 5 weeks without Terry. It has been tough. And it was important that, that I did try and provide a solution to the situation. And I'm delighted that, again, Charlie's putting himself out and taking himself away from his family for the benefit of the football team and for me. So, I'm delighted he's with us. Absolutely delighted.
So this weekend is your sort of your island of a home game in amongst, I think, 5 away games. You had 2 and then 3 more to come. Is that important, getting back to Hewish Park and home comforts in the middle of what is a pretty tough run of away matches?
Well, in all honesty, in terms of our results, our productivity, it's not been home comforts because we've not been very good at home. Even though we all love playing here and we love having our supporters around us en masse. So I think it's important that we try and build on last Saturday. I thought it was a far more rounded, polished display last Saturday, and we were very disappointed in a completely different way to the previous Tuesday with not winning the game, because it was only one team that was going to win last Saturday, and so we were really disappointed that we couldn't sort of kickstart another winning sort of run. But so I think it's important tomorrow. It's important to win. It's going to be a massively difficult game with the conditions forecast. I mean, if there's one condition that every football person hates, it's wind. And it seems to be blowing an absolute gale out there. So that will change how we prepare today, and it might change how we select the team for tomorrow. It might be that, instead of being a bit more creative, that we're a little bit more destructive. But we'll have to see. I could leave some of those decisions to game day. But we've got to be better at home. I think we've been fabulous away. In general, some of our results away from home have been just fabulous.
Good stuff. Go well tomorrow, Darren.
Thanks, mate.
Morning, Darren. How you going?
Hey, all right.
Not too bad. First of all, were you happy with Olomola's contribution and settling into the side last week?
Yeah, for an hour. Yeah, I thought after, maybe not even an hour, maybe 50, 55 minutes. I thought he was strong, very strong. Got a really great work ethic. A lovely lad, good character. Has got some excellent attributes in terms of his attacking play. We just need to try and get him, and I'm not saying he's unfit because that's disrespectful to his club, to his parent club and the people that work there. But, every team has different levels of what they need. And also, I think he's probably playing in a different position to maybe what he's had to play recently. And obviously, you need, for different positions, you need different physical attributes. So I think it will take a few weeks maybe to get him back up. But no, I thought he did very well, very well.
And all right, you felt you should have won last week, and I think everybody did. But at the end of the day, you didn't. But nonetheless, you didn't lose. So I mean, it wasn't total disaster. You got a point, and you can start now, perhaps on another run.
Well, runs are. I always think you got to get to 3 before you can start calling it a run. But it's it was a nice performance. It was I've moaned a lot this year about our attacking play, which is obviously backed up by an evidence that says we score less than a goal a game. And I thought it was a much better constructive performance in terms of the creation of chances, the types of chances. Still disappointed at times with some of the work we did, especially in wide areas, forward, advanced wide areas. But I thought the midfield players had good control. The back 4 had far more involvement in terms of playing from deep. And I thought we were good value for if that had been 2 or 3, I think that, no one would have really been too shocked by the level of dominance in the game.
And it seems as though you've found another little gem in Ben Barkley, in that from Dan Moss we go to Ben Barkley now, and he pulled off a pretty good saving tackle right at the end of the game. I mean, you must be pleased with your choices of bringing players in.
Yeah, there's not been too many, I'd say, this year that we've got drastically wrong. I think the recruitment had to have been good, because we can't afford to waste a penny. And I think that the recruitment had to be solid, and obviously there was a framework around our recruitment in terms of probably having more young players, more athletic players that have something to prove in the game, and ambition to play higher, and almost prey on those strengths in order to get an increased performance level out of them. And I think we've done quite well with that. We're very tight in terms of capabilities. No, I've got to say I'm happy with pretty much everyone. In terms of the players we brought in, Ben has been fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I'm hoping he'll be with us until the end of the season.
And a good workout on, was it Wednesday or Tuesday? Wednesday, I can't remember now.
Tuesday.
Cheddar. You happy with that?
Yeah, it was okay. It was, we never really have a chance in training to work on 11v11 or even 10v10. So some of the chances to prepare tactically are reduced because of our squad size. And we've not got many injuries at the minute. I think we've only got 1 injured and 1 suspended, or 2 injured, 1 suspended. So it does reduce your capabilities as a coach to prepare in a realistic fashion for games and for the development of the team. But so I've used those Somerset Cup games as almost mini, I don't want to say training sessions, again, out of respect, but we've used them as opportunities to develop some of the players in different areas. We've played players that have been playing regularly in the competition. We did that again the other night with Barnett and Williams. I wanted to make sure they had more of the ball. So I thought putting them back in was really important to their progress. And same with Matthew. And, I was pleased. The attitude of the players was excellent. The senior players, the attitude was excellent. Ruben, Addy, really fantastic attitude to the game. And, I like meeting new people, and I met the coaching staff of Cheddar, and they came and had a chat after the game with us, and it was lovely to speak with them. We didn't leave here till nigh on midnight, where we were talking. And lovely people doing a fantastic job in our county, and I like that part of the competition, and I like people to be able to have access to. We are the biggest, most professional club in the county, so I like them having access to that sort of resource. So it was a good evening. It was a good evening.
And now you got your mate back. That's going to make a big difference, I should think, isn't it? I mean, especially bearing in mind you know him so well. You've been associated with him for a long time now, apart from just the time at Yeovil, haven't you?
Yeah, I think Charlie is. Like I said, this isn't the one thing I'd never do is take the easy route, and this isn't like I've got my mate back in and he's going to smile and sit there and nod and Gaffer, you're this and you're great. Charlie's not like that. Charlie's a pain in the arse. He's a real pain in the backside. So he's a really spiky character, someone who's going to stimulate the dressing room, and another voice that was going to have a strong voice and a strong opinion. Not always my opinion. It's not all about all this mumbo jumbo that you've all got to sing off the same hymn sheet. No, winning is dysfunctional. And there has to be a level of dysfunction in it. You don't think Roy Keane just sat there and nodded his head, do you?
I'm sure.
So winning's dysfunctional. You watch all the great winners of the game. You watch Michael Jordan in the Last Dance documentary. Dysfunctionally brutal in his quest for winning, and didn't care who he upset and who he ran over in order to get there. So, when you bring someone like Charlie in, you bring a real character, and again, someone who's always been associated with winning. So I thought it was really important that we had that. And, you know, I don't want anyone to think for 1 minute that we've gone down the easy route with this. Charlie's travelling another 200 miles 4 times a week extra. So he's putting himself out. The Oval's not going to make him a millionaire. And we've got, you know, a real winning mentality back in the dressing room. And we've got a real difficult character. And I thought that was important because, you know, Terry and I very rarely saw eye to eye. We argued more than any pair ever. And Charlie, it was important that Charlie had that strength in his character that he could come in and do very similar things.
What's the situation for tomorrow, Darren? Have you got more or less a full squad to pick from tomorrow?
Yeah, probably just Hunt that's not available through fitness, and Gorman through suspension. Apart from that, I think we're good. This touch and goal, maybe 1 or 2 of them. Jack Robinson's one of them. I won't say the other one, but everyone should be good apart from that.
And Gorman's is only 1 match, isn't it?
2.
2, is it? Yeah. Well, best of luck tomorrow, Darren. Let's start a run, as I said earlier, even if it's only 2 games.